My name is Eduardo Flores. I play an actor, a minor role in the film Missing Trail, but more importantly, I'm the director, writer, editor, producer of this film. So Missing Trail, it came to me, the idea, when I was just thinking of an idea to do, thinking of a movie to make. I was with Alex Irena, Toro Shelley, and Joshua Perez. The four of us, we were walking behind the Home Depot from my house in Imperial Beach. We were walking down these trails, and I was thinking of a movie. I was thinking we should do a horror movie. We should have with some gore into it, or some mystery into it. What kind of a movie can we make? Or an adventure, like somebody lost. But a lot of these things, they seemed very common. And I thought, there's a lot of trails in these places. What about someone was missing in these trails? And that's when the idea spurred to me.
It was actually kind of random the way that I got involved in this film, because I met Eddie because his mom teaches a folklorical class that my sister used to take. And when I think just one of the days that I decided to go and see my sister perform in one of these classes, I think it was Eddie that approached me because my sister told Eddie, who was also part of that class, that I was a filmmaker. And then he approached me and was like, "Hey, what do you think about I'm a filmmaker. I'm based here in San Diego too." And he was like, "Well, what do you think about being part of a film project that I got going on?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd love to participate in something, especially something like this local, because I don't really know that many San Diego filmmakers or people that are just into film in general here." So I was just like, "This is exciting."
Got the marker?
Yeah.
You got scene A, take one. Marker.
And 3, 2, 1, roll.
I am a crew member for this film. I mainly do the boom mic operator. I was actually a part of Eddie's last film, One Room. I did the same role, crew member and boom mic specifically. And I became a part of that one because I used to work with Eddie at Walmart. And he let me know he's making a movie. He wanted some help, and he's like, "Hey, I can teach you how to use the equipment." And I was like, "Hey, I'm game. I want to help make a movie." So I didn't really want to act. Not really good at acting or made for the cameras. So I was like, "Hey, anything behind the scenes? I'll hold lights. I'll hold the mic, camera, whatever you want." So he turned me on the mic, and it's actually a really, really fun experience. I'm glad I do the mic a lot. Yeah.
Starts over here, in which I say, "What's so special about that, boy?"
I like how I read the line though, and I was like, "Wait a minute, this line sounds so weird."
And then scene 25 is just me and him. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's not even bad though. I can memorize 10 lines in
It's 20 minutes.
5 minutes probably. Not practice.
See, I can help you both. Oh, hey, stimmer pages. Let's go back to ours. Go.
Where do we start? Go.
You guys lumbering up?
Whatever you say, Angel.
Angel. We have a new job for you. It's a single-minded, well-off.
Belker! Andre, I'm done doing this silly job.
Silly? You think our jobs are silly? It's fun, of course.
I always liked movies that dealt with the guilt of people and how they don't know how to overcome something they're ashamed about and how to communicate it, and how some people envy others and try to get revenge on them for something that doesn't have any. People take things personally, and I think that it'd be a great way of showing in this film someone that took it to a far extent.
The characters' reasonings and why they're pursuing their goals, whether or not they're good or bad, I really can feel for and I can see. So I think, just maybe for one character it's about the loss of a friend. For another character it's just about trying to do something good to feel good about himself. He didn't even, maybe a certain character didn't even know Kyle, the deceased person, but he wants to avenge him for reasons unknown that even he's trying to figure out, you know? So I think like there's just so many aspects that maybe as a viewer, hopefully, when this is done, our audience can watch and maybe see themselves as one of the characters or multiple characters, you know?
Are you fucking kidding me? What do you think we should do?
I don't know. So maybe somebody else should come out and call for help.
Help! Somebody please!
Dude,
What are you doing?
you're gonna get us killed. Whatever they did to him, they can do it to us.
Fuck you, Axel. He ain't around. Look at that body. It's been there for weeks.
Multiple locations have been filmed in and have been scrapped from the table because of recasting. I would be busy one time when others were free, and when I'm free, others would be busy. The very tricky thing about this is my second movie, is that it's not a film where you would go to the same location and trust that, okay, I have this location set in mind, I have a group of friends that want to do it with me, and I can find a possibility to get everybody in the same place, and we work around the same time frames. In this movie, there is a lot of elements to it.
Scene, hallway, camera, take 2.
And action. It was pretty hard to get people involved in this. I mean, this project, today it's January 15th, 2024, and I started this back in early August of 2022. I started with a table read at my house back in Imperial Beach.
So,
David admits his faults to me.
You worry me, Blake.
It was with Josh, Oscar, coworkers of mine from like Walmart.
Just tell me how you watched him die, and I'll leave you alone.
as much as you want me to be what you clued upon, I'm not. No matter how suspicious or negligent I may come across as.
I can tell if you're being truthful or lying to me.
When we were doing this film, when we were doing the table read, everybody was like, yeah, I can't wait to do this film. Like, I mean, we skimmed through the table read pretty fast, only beginning, middle, and end of it. When can we start? And I was like, we'll start next month in September because I'm going to leave for a trip this month in August. And so when I came back from the trip, it was September, and one of my actor friends, Oscar, who was going to play Hansel initially, he had some things to do. So we had to push the filming. And we kept pushing the filming till starting in December. And then we filmed in December. And January, that's when I got to meet wonderful friend now, cameraman of this movie, Carlos Luna.
We didn't immediately meet up to just start the process of filming. We met up at this local local Starbucks where we just started just talking. I feel like just through this process I've been able to like just become like greater friends with Eddie, just because we just like film. We made like different kind of genres. Like he's more into horror, I'm more into like drama and other stuff. But like I feel like our common goal of just creating film has just brought us together.
I'm glad to have him on board in the project. Whenever I had doubts or like was trying my best to get something together, he would bring in good insight and good ideas to the table.
I feel like with anything that I commit myself to, time is just the biggest thing that I sacrifice.
For sure.
Because I'm a type of person that would just like to immerse myself in as many things as I can, or as I can really. And I kind of been realizing some of my limits as the years go by, but I'm like, I know that I like to keep myself busy. So I think whenever I participate in the production of this film, I had to take my time into consideration, whether like, okay, I know I have to work on this other project for some of my friends, with my friends like production company, but I also know that like, we also have to record on this date, and I already know how tough it can be to kind of get people together. So I'm like, yeah, I know that I had to I already committed myself to show at this time, so I do my best to kind of just like leave myself some time to work on what I need to, and also just show up and be here as well.
I think Eddie, the fact that like he really keeps us moving forward, even when we're having tough days shooting, whether it's I don't know something outside of control happening, noise around us as an operator, I hear helicopters flying above, and I have to say, cut or something like that. He never gives up. So we're always kind of like, hey, we can do it again. When we do a good shot, he's like, hey, that was really good. Let's build off of that. So I feel like there's always momentum to keep going to the next scenes and the next days. And this idea that like, hey, the end game is in sight. We can finish by this month or this day. So it never feels tedious per se. It never feels like it's just struggling along. There's a goal in mind that I feel was attainable.
I think it's easy to see, based on experience, that a lot of projects like this that are independently like pushed forward, some of them just tend to like don't go anywhere, mainly because of the lack of attention to it. And I say that from experience, having gone to a college with where I was part of a film program, and a lot of the projects that I joined that I thought were gonna take off, like almost none of them like actually went anywhere. So what struck me about this production so far is that like everyone's commitment to just stay and show up, mainly show up, which is actually like the biggest part of what you can do here in this industry, is like show up and be and do something. When I see it that a lot of people are doing that, and how everyone's just so passionate about this craft, it's like, yeah, no, this is like, I feel like this is gonna go somewhere.
A lot of sacrifice I'd say that I've been putting into this project is, I think, plotting out how it's all gonna be. I mean, I wish I had like a magic wand and could just be like, okay, we're gonna be in this location at this time. Everybody's free. The problem is not everybody's free, and you gotta pull from like your sources. And I don't want to say like pull from sources as a form of like utilizing people, but just because I like to be fair, and I like to treat it all as a get together, as a kind of reunion of friends, maybe people that have never met with each other before, but we're doing something productive for them, and also for me. And anything that we do together, we always kind of try to agree on it. Maybe we have a different opinion about what we're doing, like maybe a phrase that someone is saying in a film, or like a camera shot that doesn't look right, the darkness or like the lightness of it, any flaw in it. It's all a project, but we all implement a style or something of ourselves into that. And that's what I've loved so much about this sacrifice, and expanding myself, being extroverted. I love to be introverted and extroverted. Sometimes I get very, very tired of being an extrovert, and I just want time to cool down and just like take a break, like really. But the biggest sacrifice, again to the question, is me reaching out to people, I think.
Just cut it open and just flush this out. Yeah. I kind of done that before, but like that was back in high school. I did a similar thing where like it was also like a neck wound.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You did that in high school?
Yeah.
Like a sliced throat?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Yeah.
I believe you.
I can show you how it looks like, but like it was because it was a dark shot.
Yeah.
We didn't really worry about how much how it would look like perfectly.
Yeah.
You know, it was so dark. But yeah, no, we did that back in high school, and like it looked alright, but like you could definitely notice that it was like, latex coming out, which will be fine, but we should definitely practice for sure.
And it's like, fuck you, David. Come on, David. And then like, that's the kick. And then like, so then Hansel's here and he's trying to get up, but he gets kicked in the face. And he's just like, and then like, I try to get up, and then like, he beats him down, and then David gets like picture frames and started throwing them down. Try to punch. I punched through like a picture frame, and like my hand is bloody.
So like as I'm throwing it down, you just like
I punched through it, yeah.
huh.
And it's like bloody and stuff. And then like you grab another picture frame and you smashed it on the head, and then it's like you kicked me down, and then like I kicked over and shit, and then like you grabbed like the side of my sweater, like my collar, and you start dragging me like over.
I'm not strong enough for this.
And then like oh, the door is here. I thought it was you could close it. Like when you grab the door, and then like put your both feet out. Oh, it might be too far. But like when you close the door, he swings it to close, and it like hits his face. It hits Hansel's face like that.
As it passes.
As it passes, yeah.
Damn, it was brutal.
And like you see like Hansel like cough out like the blood.
Oh my god.
And then like the door slams. This film was a lot of me kind of putting into paper all the frustration that I was feeling in 2022 with friends, with things that I know about other people, things that I've gone through in my personal life. Just it kind of felt like a self-indulgent plaster onto paper, and how I would react to it in a different perspective or from different mindsets. If I were a parent, if I were somebody protecting someone bad, if I was somebody that knew about that somebody bad and somebody was forcing me to kind of go out their way and just how to get out of the situation, being stuck in something. In 2022, I don't want to expose so much of my personal life, but there's a lot of relationships, and I mean by like friends, that I closed, and new ones that I opened up in that year. And I remember I would be like ignorant with like a group of friends, and it was because I felt like I wasn't growing. I was staying mundane with them. And when I came back to see them and I got to spend time with them, I got to kind of feel the same way, just like in a box of quicksand with them. And so writing this movie down, I did make a short film in 2020 called Missing Trail. And I always thought about like what it would be to expand on that. And now what I wrote is my expansion on that. This movie is my expansion on the short film. That is just messy emotions, very aggressive attitudes, and this kind of climb to break out of whatever you're held down in.
I think it's exciting because like coming from like a family that just like doesn't really talk much about like heavy subjects that are having to do with some like anything related to like abuse or even just like that, which can be kind of like a bit of a, what do you call it, like a bit of a taboo thing to talk about. I feel this is good that there's that you have like that people who will see this could potentially see an avenue to kind of just like see that like these are things that do happen in real life, and there's probably not much point in just avoiding those subjects. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's great to address them. It's great to talk about them because you only get to learn from things like that. I would hope, you know, like I would hope like people do get to just kind of learn and reflect on what is happening with the characters in these movies, in this movie, and hopefully see that like not everything that's negative has to always just stay a negative.
Any of the events in this film that strike you as particularly heavy?
I mean, man, lots of them. I mean, the fight scenes that would be coming up, for sure. Maybe emotionally would be the scene we filmed already with Kyle's parents.
I actually met quite a lot of new people as we began the recording of this film, mainly because Eddie just brings a lot of his friends into this. So whenever like people like whenever someone just doesn't not everybody shows up consistently, like it does seem to be like a changing like a changing, like, how do you say, like a
revolving doors,
like a revolving set of people that like tend to show up at these at the shootings. So I can't say that I met these people long enough to say it's like that I will like completely like like miss them, but I can see myself like being like feeling like I want to hang out more with them. Like there's a few people that I'm like, oh yeah, they're so cool, and I didn't know they actually like live here too. So I feel like I'm gaining more connections and actually establishing that sort of like friendship with these people that I'm getting to meet.
I still feel at times where I want to just be like, you know what, I just need a break from this. I need to switch paths, do a different film. I need to let Missing Trail just like get inside its coffin and rest for like a couple months. But I know that those months are gonna turn into years, because it's already taken so much time to make. I didn't think it would take this long to make, but I feel very challenged, and I feel very impulsed at the same time to get this movie done. My desperation to get the movie done is very very battling. I could leave it at any time. I could stop it at any time because it's possible, or I can keep continuing it because that's also possible. It's possible to do anything. I mean, when you love something, and I love this movie, and I think I'm gonna love and hate aspects about it production wise, because maybe it's all a learning process for me, for everybody too. But this is, I think, a very important movie to do, because it's showing me how to become a better producer, better director, better casting agent, independently, better at all these struggles that I'm coming across, and I do hope to get it done at an estimated date that I want to get it done by, but not everything can work or will work that way. I like doing this film, and I feel like the moment that like I step out of the film, I've decided to do something else. That's not what I want to do. I do want to be involved in Missing Trail. It's a very, very hard thing to continue with and to leave behind with. But I am on board, and I will continue this film, and I will finish it.
What do you plan to do after this film's been completed?
I mean, honestly, hopefully work on some more projects with Eddie. I know he's got more in mind he tells me about. They sound pretty fun. Ideally, I mean, maybe learn other stuff like behind it. Using the camera would be kind of cool too, to grow my skills. But yeah, I think doing this more often, I mean, it's not a job, or maybe not yet anyway. Something I just help out with, but I've had a blast the past movie and this movie so far, so it's something I really look forward to being able to continue to do.
I would like to see what else Eddie has in mind. He has mentioned to me what his next project is gonna be, but I would like to see is like what else could we do like together to see if what else we can potentially like collaborate on to. I don't know, bring something else together essentially. Like we haven't talked about it much, but like I would like to see if like there's could be something that we could potentially like bring to fruition.
Personal favorite Silver Songs pickup song.
Oh my god.
Definitely Out of Breath from the Neck of the Woods album, 2012.
Man, Eddie's gonna hate me, but I don't even know the names of their songs. He plays it so often. I know, like, if I hear it, I'll know. Like, oh, I know that one song.
Can you hum it? Can you hum one?
No, I can't. No, I don't want to. Sorry, Eddie.
It has a build-up, and I feel like all the instruments have their own part, from the bass to the guitar. Everybody, it just has this adrenaline rush to it, too. The whole album is great, Neck of the Woods, but it's an underrated gem, and there was something about it that I liked it from the get-go.
So I am classic in that sense that like I love Lazy Eye from Cyberlink Pickups, and which was like their breakout hit too, but I like ever since I heard it, like I never really found a song that replicates that sort of like lazy launching, like, how do you call it, romantic feeling of like being like you're early 20s, as much as that song portrays.
It's very nostalgic. I get it. Whenever I listen to it, it gives me like that nostalgic feeling.
Yeah, it is. I am a sucker for stuff that is nostalgic, but
Yeah.
I feel like Lazy Eye does portray that in the sense that like I don't think any other song has ever reached that sense of nostalgia with it before. And because of that, I've actually listened to the whole album, Carnivus. So I would say like overall like Carnivus like just gives me that feeling too.
I'd say Skin Graph from Silver Sun Pickups and The Fuzz from Silver Sun Pickups is a cool album. The album Neck of the Woods inspired Missing Trail, besides the aspect that there's woods in the title of it, but there's a very mellowness to the song Skin Graph that's the first song in Neck of the Woods. A very downbeat and type of climbing out of a situation that you're stuck in feeling that I get from it whenever I go back to listening to Skin Graph. And I also play Skin Graph whenever I feel down about things in life. It helps me kind of release that frustration or that knot I have in my chest. And Pikul is a very neat album to listen to. Those, I'd say Pikul and Neck of the Woods were my inspirations for making Missing Trail, but especially Neck of the Woods. That whole thing.
Oh fuck yeah! Common Reactor. When I heard that the first time, it is a bit of a long song, but I love listening to it all the way through. Like I'm not intimidated by long songs at all. It has quite an ending that I don't think a lot of people like, but because it's like this sort of like abruptly kind of glitchy and messy kind of like guitar distortion kind of sound, but because of that, like I feel like that shows a lot more than just someone just perfectly playing a guitar. You know what I mean? Like that roughness and rawness of it. I feel like it got to me, especially after you. It's like quite a finisher to have. Because that is the finisher to the album, so it's like I feel like that was quite a way to just encapsulate that like lingering feeling, you know. So, Common Reactor, shout out to that song. Do you feel like this is fine?
I think this is okay. Yes. Cool. Shout out Silver Sun Pickups.
Shout out.
Shout out Brian, Nikki, Christopher, and Joe Lester. You guys are great.
We'll see you guys soon.